Sleep versus Bboong, or B4, whatever you want to call him.
B4, I like that.
Yeah, B4. That's B or B to the 4th.
B to the 4th.
Whatever you guys want to call it.
That's a lot of Bs, man.
Depends on what level of algebra you got to. You guys are going to Cloud Kingdom for game number 1. Remember, this is Losers Bracket round number 7. Round number 6. Round number 7.
I think this is round number 7 of the lower bracket. Yes.
Yes, okay. So winner of this will advance to the top 8 to join other players like Bomber and DRG, who did win their respective Losers Bracket round 7 matches. This is top 12, which means you're guaranteed $1,000. But John, I mean, the prize money escalates super quickly from this point on.
It does indeed. So a lot is on the line here for these two players. Let's get them introduced, because we have spawning on the top right position of Cloud Kingdom. We have, ladies and gentlemen, from Team NJ, it is Bboong. And he's going to be playing against the green Zerg player, who's in the bottom left-hand corner. Really strong showing for him at this tournament. I believe he's currently teamless, so this is going to be a great, attractive proposition to any teams looking to pick someone up. It is Sleep. And I have a cool story about Bboong, actually.
Yeah.
Not yesterday morning, but the day before, because I flew in like on a whole series of crazy flights from Singapore. I was really jet lagged, and I woke up at 5 in the morning.
You had like 3 connecting flights or something across all the continents. Pretty much,
it was interesting.
You flew from Asia to Europe to the US.
Yeah, I went Singapore, Shanghai, LA, Las Vegas, but there were lots of like 7 to 10 hour waits.
Oh, I thought you crossed over Europe, man.
No.
Okay.
I did go London, Singapore. I don't know if that counts. To start
okay.
off with, but I was up at 5 in the morning, and I came down to see, like, I had some breakfast, and I came back up, and there was only one guy sat in the lobby, and it was Bboong, and he couldn't sleep either. So we went into the Shoot Mania room, and like he set up his StarCraft, and we were just chatting away for an hour or two. We were talking about a whole bunch of things, like how his name is supposed to be pronounced. It's kind of like halfway between a B and a P, so it's a little bit frustrating for a lot of people to pronounce, because it's kind of Bboong, like that. And,
yeah.
But the B is like totally acceptable if you use that sound. He was like showing me these little tips and tricks that he was using in his game, like his hotkeys and stuff like that. It was super cool. And hopefully he sorted out his jet lag problems now. I mean, he's gone so far in this tournament, I can only imagine he's on the ball.
Dude, Bboong has had a pretty ridiculous tournament, because he lost to Hyun really early on in like the winners bracket round number 2. And now he's all the way here in round number 7, so he's had to win 5 series to get here. Bboong being an absolute champ. Also Sleep, I've had the opportunity of chilling with him a little bit back when he was on Check 6.
Yep.
And he was living in Southern California, coming to some lands and Sleep. He was a guy that really felt like he wanted to go into the international scene, just wanted to break away from Korea and explore the world while being able to play StarCraft. Didn't really get that opportunity that much, and now he's still searching for a team. But after a strong performance like this, if he can go to top 8, if he can go to the top 6, if he wins the whole thing, well, I mean, someone has to pick him up. Someone, I mean, he has to. He could, do whatever he wants and be the IPL 5 champion.
Well, it's certainly possible from this point onwards. I think both of these guys, like you said, playing like absolute champs. Sleep only just got knocked down to the lower bracket, by the way, guys. He did fall. I think he went all the way to winners round 5 or 6 before falling round 5 before falling 2-0 to Symbol. And that's really nothing to be ashamed about here.
No.
Once you get that far in the bracket. I mean, so strong all the way around. I think we were talking yesterday about how if you took all the people that fell out of the tournament in the lower bracket rounds 1 and 2, you could pretty much have like a champions tournament right there.
Yeah, you can have an all-star lineup of just even the losers bracket round number 4 and a little bit even back. I mean, this tournament is so deep, 60 players deep. I feel like can make a great run if they piece things together, and that just shows you how far StarCraft 2's come along. A lot of people are capable of playing, and now we'll just see who's the most consistent, who has the best, intangibles, who doesn't necessarily get rattled easily, who can adjust to the jet lag, who can handle such a marathon of tournaments from Lone Star Clash to things like BWC, ESWC, IEM Singapore, and even
DreamHack as well.
DreamHack as well. And then here going into IPL 5.
And we have a little bit of aggression coming out of here at the beginning from Bboong here. He actually made 22 Zerg, and he's going to be streaming them across the map. We do have some Banelings being morphed in, though, defensively from Sleep. Both sides, of course, on 2 base at the moment, so they kind of went for a pretty standard ZVZ opening. But now we're going to see, so close to getting a good Baneling connect there. Great reaction there from Bboong.
Yep, Sleep, of course, both players opened up very similar, going for Hatch Gas so that they get quick Zergling speed. But you see that Sleep is already taking more defensive route. Bboong did make an influx of Zerglings, but he's already transitioning into Roaches directly.
So he's made those extra Zerglings to really keep Sleep on the defensive there, while skipping the Bailing Nest and going straight up to Roaches. And how do you see this going into the mid game? I mean, Roach is going to be quite effective here, or how do you feel?
If he goes for like a 2-base Roach attack, I think it's still going to be really strong, but he doesn't have a lot of gases to really supplement this. As well, oops, we actually accidentally have Bboong as a Terran player.
Bboong's going to magically switch race from Terran to Zerg. Boom! There we go. No problem at all.
You know, and Sleep does have a faster layer, so his upgrades will be much stronger. So if he wants to go for, if he wants to defend his third or even time his opponent's third, it'll be really nice. I don't know, and this is exactly where, players like Sheth will be able to give you exact timings and how they feel, but when you have a faster layer, it just gives you more options. You are a little bit more defensive, though, just because you don't have as much units. If you just look, Bboong has 22 Zerglings, and so Bboong is the one who wants the pressure. But overall, I feel like Sleep's in a nice position. He hasn't lost anything else, and he's fast-teching to Infestors. It's something Sheth was telling me about yesterday, that if you go for a fast layer and you didn't really sacrifice anything, you can just pretty much go for fast Infestors and control the map really easily.
No, I think that's a great point, actually. I mean, both sides have got their +1s going at the moment, but that Infestor Tech and Pathogen Gland is going to be really, really useful coming out of here from Sleep. Ooh, a little bit of engagement going down here by the third, but Sleep is going to try and get his third base down. Bboong sending a couple more lings in. He is going to force a cancel initially at the third, going to try and remake it once again. Good positioning there, and with the defensive Bailings, Bboong is going to have to back off.
Yep, Sleep does have a nice Roach and +1 normally lined up by conventional means, and you can, again, assault the opponent's third if you can get enough Roaches out. But again, because he's going for Infestors, so he's just going to be very, very, very passive. Meanwhile, Bboong's taking this notion to get Infestors out too, and we've seen how Infestors pretty much rule the mid-game, especially on Cloud Kingdom. So many chokes, small ramps, where you can kind of defend really easily, depending on what position your Infestors are in. It's very tough to attack unless you have a ridiculously overwhelming advantage.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. All of those destructible rocks really contributing to those choke points that just allow Infestors to not only get a lot of damage done to those armies, but to stop them coming up as well, because once you fungal those units, of course, the rest of your army can actually engage in the back. You can get some really horrific engagements here. Bboong still trying to put on some pressure towards the third base of Sleep now, but Sleep is doing a fairly good job holding it off, and very nice trapping.
This is not good, Jorisar. Bboong doesn't have Roach speed, so he has to engage here. And so if he doesn't finish off the rest of Sleep's units, he can't even escape.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. So, that is so unfortunate for Bboong. None of that. Oh, dear, oh, dear. He has to move back and kite to the best of his ability, but if he just keeps running, you're right, these Roaches are just going to disintegrate, and that's exactly what's happening. That's a major victory here for Sleep.
That's incredible, just because now his third is really safe.
There we go.
That has to be a mistake here from Bboong. And Sleep, the best part about it is not necessarily that he can go push and whatnot. It's just that his third is safe and it's faster, and he'll be able to have a stronger standing army to supplement these Infestors. Bboong still he's not out of it by any means. He's just behind. That's it. We'll see how he's able to really fare. And in Cloud Kingdom, again, advantages are really noticeable, but if you play your cards right, play the ramps and positioning correctly, I've seen crazier turns. I've seen like people hold off with like 160 supply against 200 and a bank. So.
Well, the Infestors really do make a big difference here, and how you use them and the army positioning, like you said, Frodan's going to become of paramount importance going into the late mid-game. Here we see Sleep. He's actually going for Burrow at the moment, so let's see if he is able to make use of that before Bboong gets any purchase. He will, of course, be able to use that to heal up some Roaches, maybe sneak some Infestors in later on. Let's see, and we have a little bit of a Ling run by, but good positioning on that Roach here from Bboong denies those Lings.
Zergling somehow squeezed in. Squeezed in, but it couldn't get out. That's quite unfortunate. It's like a Chinese roach trap.
Oh, wow.
Like that you can get in, but you can't get out.
But I'll tell you what, man, you're going to need a lot more roach traps to get Roaches off of this trap. There's quite a few of them around. Dear, oh dear, there's an infestation on Cloud Kingdom. Someone call in the Exterminators. We have +2 on the way for both of our players, but Sleep is going to finish that for his Roaches first. 6-3 Infestors at the moment, so he'll have a little bit more energy to play with. Burrow is about to complete as well. And Sleep's currently ahead a little bit on supply as well, say just under 20.
Yeah, and he's gotten more Infestors, and that's going to be really key. You can see how Sleep doesn't even have that many Roaches compared to his opponent. Well, he just made about like 8 more, but before he was kind of playing with with fire in the sense that if he got caught out of position, his roaches got fungled, he would have lost everything. But he was just feigning aggression because he wants to eventually get that huge infestor count. Now, Bboong is taking a pretty big risk here by getting his 4th. Well, not necessarily the big risk, but this 4th isn't really safe. And if he wants to make the focus of this attention, he has to protect this ramp. And Fungos can change the outcome of it, but Sleep, I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to go. He can just circumvent, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Oh, he's moving around. Are the infestors going to attempt to come in for a sneaky fungal? No, they're not. Instead, we're just going to use some infested Terrans here to try and force a cancel on that 4th. A cute little move there from Sleep, and of course, with that infestor count advantage, he's going to be able to... Oh, if he's focused fire, he's not focus firing the hatchery though, so I don't think it's going to... Oh, now he is, and yes, that should get... No, it doesn't get cancelled. Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough for Bboong, but you know...
He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not. It's just that he's stalling for, you know, some kind of a position that he can take advantage of his opponent. Now is around the time where you start incorporating Hydras into your mix, so Sleep's Hydraless Den is well timed because, you know, you're pretty safe with your Roach. You want to have some more DPS in protecting them. This is an interesting angle that Sleep's taking. His infestors are not in position, but a couple of Bboong's infestors also get caught. I don't necessarily like this spot for Bboong. Everything is jumbled up in the back. It's very tough for a lot of these Roaches to fight, but Sleep doesn't really have as much Roaches because Bboong's able to resupply very quickly, and Sleep isn't necessarily able to break his opponent. He did trade some infestors and some Roaches for others, but we'll check the damage report after everything's done.
Yeah, no, that was a great beginning of the engagement for Sleep in the sense that he got the better concave, but Bboong crucially got off 2 fungal growths on almost all of Sleep's Roaches at the beginning of that engagement, really, really early on. So Sleep was basically engaging on delayed fungals, and Bboong was able to get that damage done, forcing Sleep back there. The current supplies, by the way, guys, are 160 to 172, and if we take a quick look at the work account, they are more or less even, 66 to 60 at the moment in favor of Sleep. Bboong once again trying to get up his 4th, but Sleep doing the same.
And wow, even Bboong having changed things during a lot of the fight. All boards or all hands on deck for this fight, considering that Bboong wants to do something about this 4th base because Sleep can jump very far ahead.
And do we see some burrow healing on those Roaches? I'd like to see that, frankly, from Sleep. I think he is actually burrowing a couple of them, so that was good. But he could probably heal up just a little bit more. Hydra's now coming out in the mix, and Bboong actually doing the same there. This is a really, really tense position to be in. How is Bboong going to try and apply pressure to Sleep's wood? Are we going to see him do what Sleep did and maybe put some infested Terrans behind and take some inspiration from his opponent here? It looks like he's getting ready to think about it. Let's see. No, he's actually moving back at the moment. So a little bit of a stalemate going on here at the 4th base.
He has to be careful because, you know, again, it's really tough to kind of run with infestors, especially if you don't have good standing army. And I like Sleep's composition better. He has Roach and Hydra, and he's running it with small Roaches around the map. This is what you can do a lot, especially when the map starts to divide and you have bases in the corners. You start seeing small packs.
The 3rd base of Sleep is currently under attack by a small number of units, it looks like, but he should just about be able to clean that up. Bboong getting a couple of drone kills, and very nice there, burrowing inside the 3rd expansion. So he's going to have to wait until an Overseer pulse by before that can complete. But in the meantime, Sleep pushing in hard against a natural expansion and 3rd base of Bboong, doing a great job of protecting his infestors, actually, and these fungals are so good against Bboong's defenses here. He's doing a fantastic job, but has Bboong got the numbers to break out?
A lot of infested Terrans coming from behind and killing a lot of the Hydras. This is a great engagement for Bboong, although Sleep isn't able to do any more damage. I mean, he hasn't been able to get to the economy line. His infestors do manage to escape, but overall, I would say that Sleep had a great idea, not able to maximize damage, but still, regardless. Oh, did he kill the Roach Warren?
We have a Roach Warren in production now.
Oh, the Roach Warren was right here, so he did kill
so
him.
I think it has been killed, so that was a pretty nice pickoff. And that was actually a really good engagement for Sleep up until the point that Bboong came. That was such a clutch engagement with the infestors coming in from behind because Sleep had a great Roach line. He was fungling Bboong's Roaches all over the place, and then Bboong came from behind with the infestors and was able to get those really, really crucial shots off on the Hydras, because up until that point, Sleep was having a pretty good engagement.
Yeah, you know, Bboong does have the Roach advantage and even has more infestors. We'll see how this engagement is going to happen. Sleep has most of his infested Terrans out, but so does Bboong. It looks like Sleeps is going to be able to hold the fourth, and that is bad news because Bboong, he's very behind a lot of production. He has a lot of resources because he hasn't been able to spend a lot of it, as his Roach Warren did just finish, and he hasn't been able to really capitalize it. He has lost his queens too, so his injects has fallen behind as well.
Yeah, spending that much time, unfortunately, without being able to replenish your army is such a difficult position, and the fourth base from Bboong, look, we actually see it just completely abandoned now. He knows he needs to stall for time here. Sleep at a huge supply advantage. He's basically maxed out against the 140, and actually Bboong moving down, mainly with Infestors to try and defend against this. I'm not sure how good an idea this is. So many of those Infestors could just get picked off here. A couple already going down. Infested Terrans popping out as well, and I don't think this is necessarily the place Bboong wanted to defend. He is just going to give out the GG.
Overall, really well done, I think, by Sleep. You know, it's really tough to call in those situations because